Hey, it's Eric Crawford from WDRB. It's time for a little rapid reaction from here at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. Who saw this coming? I did not see this coming. Kentucky upsets number 8 Tennessee 78-73. We'll get into how they did it. Most resilient win of the Mark Pope era, brief as it's been so far. He goes to a 6th win here in his first season against a nationally ranked opponent. First time Tennessee had lost in this building all season. And let's go back to the beginning because I didn't see this coming. I don't think anybody did. You figure Kentucky doesn't have point guard Lamont Butler. They have no point guard on the roster. Kirk Reese has been out for a while. Jackson Robinson is having to step into that spot against an All-American in Zakai Ziegler. Seasoned, tough, quick. It could have been a bloodbath, not in that individual matchup so much, but maybe in the over-game matchup because Ziegler's really good. Tennessee's as good defensively as any team in the country. Kentucky's missing Butler, and not only that, it's missing Andrew Carr. He tried to go in this game and could play only 89 seconds, so there's some concern about him moving forward. Mark Pope said after the game he thought maybe he tried to come back too soon. In the end, Kentucky wins anyway. How did it do it? Well, it came out and made the first 3 threes of the game, and I think that put some pressure on Tennessee. I think Tennessee felt like it needed to keep up with Kentucky from the perimeter. It played like it wanted to keep up with Kentucky from the perimeter. It shot 45 threes in this game. That's not Tennessee's game. Credit Mark Pope and the Kentucky defense for sagging off a little bit, inviting Tennessee to shoot all those threes, and Tennessee took the bait. They didn't drive the ball enough. They didn't go inside and get the points that they could have gotten against this Kentucky defense, so that's a win for Kentucky. Other wins, as I said, Jackson Robinson really good. Kobe Brea breaks out of a little slump. He hit the first shot of the game, first shot of the second half, winds up with a team-high 18 points and played really well throughout. But let's give a special nod to Amari Williams. He's the center. Who would handle bringing the ball up the court duties? In the second half, it was Williams, the 6'11 Drexel transfer. He was the point center. He was bringing the ball up. He was distributing the ball out of the post, did everything they asked, and he had 10 points and 15 rebounds on top of that against a very physical Tennessee team. So all of that went really well for Kentucky. They got great contributions off the bench. Trent Noah comes off the bench. It's a big 3 in the second half, rebounds the ball, plays hard. Travis Perry, we've been talking about. Colin Chandler played well. And Ainsley Almanor, we got to talk about Ainsley Almanor. He hit 4 big threes again in this game. He's getting to be where he's money. 4 threes a game. If he can contribute that, Kentucky's going to take it, and Kentucky's going to win a lot of games. Look, this was a win Kentucky badly needed. They looked like they were limping. They looked like they might go on a skid. They'd already lost 2 in a row. They let one get away at Vanderbilt that you probably didn't think they should have lost. So they needed this in the worst way. And I think Mark Pope sounded very proud of the game. Here's just a little sample of what he said about this group.
So we always say a team prayer before we come out to play. And Coach Brooks, Alvin Brooks, gave the prayer. And he talked about, in his prayer, he prayed that we could have confidence, but even more importantly, that we could have Godfidence. I'd never heard Godfidence before. But I love it because that's just, there's a little bit of this team. For me, and we're a pretty faithful team, there's a little bit of us that is, we're kind of in some ways performing for an audience of one the best we can. And we're trying to take all the other noise and just kind of set it aside a little bit. And so when you see a game like this where for us, this Godfidence was a real factor in this, it ranks pretty high. It's pretty special. I told the guys before the game, like I said, there's no place I would have rather been tonight, and it was easy to double down on that after the game. So we're really blessed. This is a team that we believed from the first few months. We believed that we would have resilience. That's what we thought. We were like, we will have resilience because these guys are loving each other enough that, like, we're a really good team. It's also challenging, right? I mean, but we do feel like we can withstand punches, like we can withstand rough stretches, that we can get better from them. And we were really fortunate tonight, really blessed, and it was a good night for us.
Well, it'll be much larger audience than one in Rupp Arena Saturday. I will wager going to be the biggest crowd there in a long time to see the former coach John Calipari and several other former Wildcats come in to play against Kentucky. But the real importance of this game, I said there are two types of teams in the SEC right now. There are teams that lose games, and that's almost everybody, and there are teams that lose clumps of games. And yeah, 2 in a row isn't great, but 3 in a row would be really bad. 2 in a row changes the outlook for this Kentucky team, especially if it can follow it up with a big performance on Saturday. So all good for the Wildcats here in Knoxville going home. There are some things to be concerned about injury-wise and player availability-wise, but they have to feel good about coming in and scoring a major upset here on their SEC rivals' home court. We'll have much more to talk about this team coming up. WDRB News all day. More on the web with Rick Bozich in the office on Wednesday. From Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Eric Crawford, WDRB Sports.